Putin's magic briefcase. Have we spoken about this before on the show?
Ooh, I feel like I've
I
heard
can't.
about it, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure that we've talked about it. So why don't you
Yeah, Putin's magic briefcase, right? So when he was in Sochi and he'd walk down the pit lane,
Yep.
obviously he's got his bodyguards,
Yep.
and one of them's got the briefcase, which has got like the big red button on it,
Eh.
in case he has to casually launch nukes while he's watching the chaos at turn one or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, Kvyat, don't do that. No.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
fair, that
yeah.
was half Seb's fault. The second was Seb's fault. I stand by that.
Torpedo, God love him. But also in this briefcase was a magical set of electronics that would just like completely blank out all your phone signal, all the Wi-Fi signal, all the radio signal, and shit like that. So when you knew when he was coming down the pit lane close to your garage because you'd lose all the signal for everything.
No.
Yeah, and I mean everything. Like you'd lose camera feeds and all sorts, and it was just like, oh. And it got so bad to the point of where I think this was back when Bernie was still running it. Like the teams had to go to Bernie and say, Bernie, you're quite
You
chummy
guys
with
are
Putin.
yeah, you guys are
Putin.
mates,
Can
right?
you ask him to like not turn up until like near the end of the race, please? Because we can't continuously have all these outages from his magic briefcase walking up and down the pit lane.
Okay. Oh, that's so fucking wild.
So yeah,
But
there you
anyway,
go. Putin's magic briefcase, ladies and gentlemen.
ladies and gentlemen, and which brings us back to why Nikita
Sorry,
Mazepin
yeah.
is suing Canada. That one's my fault.
Yeah, suing Canada because he's still on their active sanctions list. Now, I was a bit like, well, why doesn't he sue the EU? Well, he's not on the EU sanctions list anymore.
Right. So
He got
basically,
taken off of it.
so what I'm getting at is he's basically going against them because that's probably the only Grand Prix he can't go to because he's sanctioned in that country, and that's
Correct,
a
yeah.
barrier to him getting a seat again.
I believe that's what it stems down to. Yeah.
Well, it's like they've got the cash, whether or not you want him in the sport. Like, pretty sure they got the cash.
I knew his dad was well off, but I didn't realize he's like $5.4 billion well off. He's,
Stonks, man.
yeah. What is that more than Strolls? I don't know.
Well, he hasn't bought a team yet, so.
Well, I don't think he can now, can he? It's all locked away. But yeah, anyway, sorry. So Canada, I believe it's because he's the only left on their sanction list or something. I don't fucking know. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think being on their sanction list is the reason you haven't got a seat, mate. To be fair, I think there's bigger issues at play than why you don't have a seat, and being on the sanctions list isn't one of them.
Oh, well, yeah.